Hello and welcome to the latest installment from Stick Tap Sports Network. Today we're going to be showing off how I play Pocket Pennant Run baseball. So, just to kind of give you a brief overview, what I do is I use an Excel dice roller that will handle the rolling of dice, obviously. Also, it'll offer triggers for strategic moves, like whether or not we're going to employ a hit and run, or stealing a base, or tagging up. It's going from an extra base, or extending let's say a single into a double. Within that card roller, we also are able to view all of the or inside that dice roller, we also are able to view the different cards that are available, either the modern era cards or the dead ball era cards. Um, I have also am using Digital Diamond version 13 that handles the stat tracking. I also use that to handle pitcher fatigue, also to generate as played lineups, and also to have the players that were active for that particular game be available, pitchers and batters, that is. And also, you'll note that I have for the game of Pocket Pennant Run within the dice roller. I also have park factors as well as manager tendencies, and into Digital Diamond, I also have incorporated the player ratings, as you'll see here. So, as you'll see, you've got Joe Tinker is up to bat for the Chicago Cubs. What I'm showing here is you'll see that the ratings that are relevant to in Pocket Pennant. So when he's at bat, what the things that we need to be aware of are his batter rating or grade, his power grade, as well as his speed. So you'll see that that's BCB, as you'll see next to Joe Tinker's name there, and that is in the order as you would reference them. So batter rating, power, speed. Then for the pitcher, as you'll see on the mound, you have Sandy Burke, who his fatigue rating is a 4. Uh, you'll see that his pitcher rating is an A, his control rating is a B, and his defense is a D. Everyone that you see in the field, as far as defensive players, what is listed is just their defensive rating. So as you see, I've already gone through the day's games to select this, and to select the game that I'm going to play. So here, obviously this is game date is April 14th, 1912. This is the Chicago Cubs, the 0-2 Chicago Cubs against the 1-1 St. Louis Cardinals. You'll also see that, let's take a look at, just so we can take a look at the rosters as well. So for the Cubs, click on defensive players available and bullpen. These are the pitchers who are available. These are your bench players. Currently, I have this set to display real life stats. You can display just the simulated stats if you want to, just by clicking on this area up here. Let's see here. So cancel that. We're not going to make any changes here. So this is Digital Diamond. Now for the roller, um, this is what I have created, and some manual manipulation that takes place here. Reset this to go to the start of the game. The last game I played using this was Pittsburgh at St. Louis. You see Pittsburgh defeat St. Louis 7-0. So Cubbies against the Cardinals. I set this up so that when you select a team, it populates the logo there. So as this would work is I play this normally on two screens, but I only record one, obviously. So So here's what I'll do. Digital diamond offline here. And so that first matchup for this game would be I'll mention here that I mentioned ballpark factors. Well, the thing here with the National League is that it really doesn't, or actually I should say the dead ball era baseball, the park factor doesn't come into play. It does on the modern era with the different ratings for parks. Is it a hitter's park? Is it a pitcher's park? Is it neutral? As you'll see when you consult the batter card, it's all just power rating. So there's nothing that's going to, it's not going to refer to the park here. So that's not to be concerned with. Um, but what I've done here, as you see, is I have all the pertinent cards available here. I have dice rolls. So this is your red pitcher dice. The second dice red is going to be either, depending on what the pitcher's card says, is it batter? Is it defense? Is it control? That will determine what we do with this number here, which will be either red off of the batter's card, and depending upon the batter's grade, we'll consult that particular. Or it'll go to control, which is here, and you would read off of the pitcher's control to determine the column, which to determine which column and result we get. The blue die will be what you read from if the batter's card says it's going to be power, or if the defense roll here, I don't know if I mentioned that, but if it comes up defense, you'll then take a look at the defensive play, looking at the player it's assigned to, is it and determining his rating and what the outcome of the play is. Over here, I have a couple other dice rolls which relate specifically to strategy play. Um, I also will do the base running dice roll will be read off of this number here as well. So um, so we can do a little bit of play here. 1 second. So yeah, let's go ahead and start. So we got Sandy Burke, who is an A-rated pitcher, against Joe Tinker, who is a B batter. So here's what would happen, and here's the roll. The roll is going to be off of the A column, which is a 1, so that would be a strikeout. So I would go over to Digital Diamond, record that as Joe Tinker striking out, and then that'll bring up Jimmy Sheckard. So there's one out, nobody on. And the pitch from Burke is an A, so that is LR. I'm sorry, he's an A column, so it's LR. So we check to see Sheckard's a lefty, Burke's a righty, so that's not going to affect the batter's rating. So Sheckard being a C, the roll we would consult the roll here is 7 is a fly ball to center field. And Sheckard's retired for the second out of the inning. So now that brings up Heine Zimmerman. He's an A-rated batter. So the pitch from the pitcher would be control rating. So that's control. 3 is going to be read off of the control column. Burke is a B control pitcher. That's going to be a strikeout. So Burke strikes out 2, and that ends the top half of the first inning. So I'm going to switch over. I'm going to have Digital Diamond here, and then let's do the dice roller over here. So now we have Lou Ritchie on the mound now. He's going to be facing Arnold Hauser. See, Hauser's batting 444. It's early in the season. Uh, here's his position he's playing, his average, and you'll see like where he stands so far. I'm only showing simulated stats, so you see that so far in the season, 444 average is based off of 4 hits and 9 at bats, 2 doubles, struck out once, 3 RBIs. So let's go ahead and roll the dice, see what happens here. So the pitch from Richie, who's a B-rated pitcher, it's a 7. So we check out that column. It's an LR rating. So it's a righty-righty. So that means Hauser, who is a B batter, is going to get dropped down to a C rating. And the roll's a 9, so that's going to be a ground ball to shortstop. Makes the play. You'll see also, I'm going to say that with Digital Diamond, we don't have as played lineups. So what I've done is I've set it to handle transactions, and what it does is it manages based upon how how many games a player appeared in the season or during the season. It manages that so that they don't get overused. See that that Frank Chance isn't playing, so that famous double play combination of Tinker, Evers to Chance is we only got 2/3 of that. So Tinkers to Evers to Sire, I guess would be what it would call today, but that just doesn't have the same ring, does it? So Lee Meiji comes up to bat, pitch to, I believe it's going to be off of Richie's column B, which is a 12. So that's going to be off the batter's card. For Meiji, he's a B rated batter, and the roll's a 10. So that's going to be a base hit. So it's going to be a base hit. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch this out, switch these screen, because now what we're going to have is we have a runner on first. And how I kind of do this automated strategy is I've set up something here to where um, I look at things like if a play comes up to where we need to tag up, I've got it set up here so that it tells me if the runner is a D or better runner, then he is going to tag or take the extra base if that chance comes up. Um, Also with stealing, I have it set up so that if a like in this case, if somebody was on second base and they're trying to steal third, they would just have to be a C-rated runner, C, B, or A runner, and they would then attempt to steal the base. Sacrificing any batter, if it comes up yes or no, is what we'll do there. For hit and run, only A and B batters in Pocket Pennant Run can do hit and run, and only with runners on first base. And so what I've done is I've set it up so that if the runner's rating is if the runner's rating is a let's say B or better, then that batter would do it. So kind of base it off of the rating to determine if the hit and run's going to be in play. So I hope that makes sense. So what we would do here is the first thing we're going to check here is going to be any of these that are pertinent to the runner on base. So Meiji's on second. We have 1 out, and because it's dead ball era baseball, I will sacrifice if even if we have 1 out, and also if runners on first, we will try it. So I'm not a real aficionado when it comes to dead ball era baseball. I'm just kind of been intrigued by it by some of the people I follow and watch on YouTube, and thought I'd try it out and see what it was like. So still in the research phases. I know that Beatles Eternally is supposed to be working on the manager tendencies, which I would have employed here. I do that with the modern era, but I don't do it with dead ball because there aren't any ratings or tendencies in the game yet. So let's see what happens with the runner on base. So in this case, nothing is going to happen. So we would just go straight to the pitcher matchup, which is a B pitcher with a 2. So that's going to be control rating. She's a C pitcher, so 5 on control is going to be a 1. So now we got runners on first and second with 1 out. And now once again, we'll take a look at if there's going to be anything in action here. Now, hit and run's not going to be eligible because the runners on first and second. So let's see what happens here. So nothing going on here again. So the pitch from Richie to Miller Huggins is going to be B against B. So B is a 10 here, which is going to be off the batter's card. Huggins is rated a B, and that's going to be a fly ball to left. Fly ball to left with a T. Now what I've done here is for my own quick reference, I have FT means runners on second and third tag up. So that's going to, third strike was dropped. The runner is retired at first, and that ends the first inning. So let's see here. I think, yeah, so yeah, I think that's probably going to be all I'm gonna show here as far as game action's concerned. I will say that one thing I enjoy about a setup like this is that it it's not just clicking a button, and having results. Um, I mean, I like the automation part because it does help speed up the process. And if I decide that I want to do just kind of a replay where I'm not really making too many decisions that might skew in favor of one team or the other. Um, Also, I'll mention that when it comes to making pitching changes, I, I'll take a look at, I lean a lot on usage because um, it helps me to determine whether or not, you're not overusing a strong reliever and skewing the result in that manner. Because, as I think as many of us have know that with an as played, a manager is going to go to a reliever who he thinks can get the job done, even though, with the benefit of hindsight, we know that that particular pitcher struggled out of the bullpen, throughout the entire season, let's say, and his numbers did not turn out to be so good. But, based upon what the manager thought of that pitcher at that time, that's his guy. So I try to be as faithful to that as possible. I don't, though, take a look at a game box score and say, okay, well, these were the two relief pitchers that came in, so I'm going to use them. So I don't know. I don't think that really is a conflicting, you know, uh, opinion there on my, not opinion, but a conflicting sort of positions. But nonetheless, that's just how I decide to play it. Another thing is, as I said, and I'll only go to the bullpen if a pitcher is getting just shelled, or if they become fatigued, then I'm gonna make a move. If I don't make that move, then I will adhere to whatever game engine I'm using, what their how they handle fatigue. So So yeah, I thought I would I'd share this with you. If you have any questions about how I do this or how I got to this idea of really the idea how I came up with the idea was not original at all. I've seen other people post the rollers they've used, and I thought that was a really cool way of doing things. Um, I'm not really into rolling dice too much. Don't have a ton of space to play these games, so kind of lean on the fact that I have a desktop, you know, PC desktop to be able to handle a lot of that for me. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it was interesting, informative. If you have any questions, please do reach out to me, send me a comment, or not or, but and please do click the like and subscribe buttons. You'll see more content like this, as well as some game action coming up. So thank you very much and have a great day.